The AmCham portrayed as a bridge connecting Taiwan on one side and the United States on another.
The American Chamber of Commerce in Taiwan has released the 2026 Taiwan White Paper, in which 221 suggestions were made to Taiwan and U.S. authorities, including implementing the U.S.-Taiwan trade deal and strengthening drone cooperation.
Taiwan and the United States are experiencing what some are calling a golden age of economic relations. The United States became Taiwan's #1 trading partner in 2025 for the first time in over 2 decades.
Taiwan and the U.S. are becoming closer economic partners. Last year, Taiwanese exports to the U.S. grew by almost 35%, while U.S. imports to Taiwan by almost 30%. Bilateral trade volume in 2025 exceeded $246 billion. The U.S. also became Taiwan's largest trading partner last year, while Taiwan became the U.S.'s 4th largest.
Taiwan is out of the top 10 trading partners with the U.S. Taiwan is the only country without a dual taxation agreement, for better opportunities for SMEs to go to the U.S. and also for American companies to come to Taiwan.
AmCham Taiwan urged U.S. lawmakers to swiftly pass the double taxation avoidance agreement, saying that it will benefit Taiwan investors in the U.S., such as TSMC, and vice versa. It also lauds the progress Taiwan made on its power system, while urging long-term vision on the issue.
Predictability, stability, continue to enhancing the grid. It's not a short-term issue, it's a long-term issue, and we continue to see that making progress.
The U.S. had initiated Section 301 investigations and is expected to conclude investigations and hearings by mid-July. Regarding whether a decision will be made on Taiwan, AmCham emphasized that the investigations concern 60 economies worldwide instead of being targeted at Taiwan. It also called on continued dialogue for closer bilateral relations.
The steaming bowl of noodles in a milk broth is almost ready to be served. All it needs is an extra scoop of boba? Another bowl is getting a topping of fresh strawberry. These eccentric meals can be found in the student cafeteria at National Pingdong University.
This is my first time eating such a weird bowl of noodles. When I first saw it, I was afraid. But now that I've tried it, I actually think they complement each other pretty well. If they also add tea, I think it would be even better. It would be like a cup of bubble tea.
Pairing salty soup noodles with sweet tapioca or strawberries is strange enough, but the chef wasn't finished there. It's not just curry they douse their pork cutlet in. They also put strawberry jam and fresh strawberries right on top of the fried meat. Despite how bizarre it sounds, it's become a hit among students and has even gotten attention off campus.
The school asked us to make some new products to give the students more choice, so we decided to collaborate with a drink shop. As long as all sanitary conditions comply with guidelines, we're on board with the vendors serving a variety of creative offerings.
These sensational dishes have sparked conversation online, prompting the vendor to double down with even more creations. Just from looking at this dark broth, can you tell what it is? That's right, it's chocolate. The curry didn't escape experimentation either. That one is served with a turtle-shaped chocolate.
Tried the hash brown with pudding or strawberry. They're actually pretty good, not too much.
But wait, there's more. You can also get minced pork with a fried cutlet over rice, drizzled with honey and topped off with pudding. If the sight itself is too much of a shock, just wait until you taste it. As the chef's imagination runs wild, students are looking forward to whatever bizarre combination they dream up next.
Drivers in Nanto's Mingjin Township were met with a frightening sight recently when a flatbed truck roared by with 6 scooters stacked up on the back, seemingly without anything tying them down. People were afraid to drive behind it for fear that one would fall off. Police said that the driver broke the law and could be fined up to 18,000 NT.
The driver is absolutely right. Those scooters are stacked too high. On this slick road in Nanto's Minjian Township, motorists noticed a vehicle carting what seemed to be at least 6 scooters crammed onto the truck bed. They bounced around with every bump, scaring the drivers behind it. If one were to fall off, it could cause a massive accident. The bikes on the back of this truck was stacked up 3 high. No wonder people are calling it scooter Jenga.
想说，它居然没有捆绑，也可以把机车叠到，就是都不会掉下来。虽然是有一点危险啊，但就是看到会忍不住多看2眼。
小型车装载货物总高度自地面算起不得超过2.85公尺。另一道路交通管理处条例第29条规定，超高车辆最高可处新台币18000元罚款。
The driver was surely angling to cut corners by stacking the scooters up that high. But now they're facing a fine of up to 18,000 NT. The police said they set up the checkpoint along that section of road to pull over any suspect vehicles and would issue fines on the spot. While on her way to work, a retail employee stops by this God of Wealth shrine for a quick prayer. Before the mall doors open, staff stop by one after another to pay their respects.
I'll stop by on my way to work. It's become a habit to pray for the day to go well.
This shrine in Kaohsiung's Caoya is in a unique spot, right next to a department store parking garage. It's there for the exclusive use of the retail staff to pray for sales, making it known as the Mall God Shrine. With an altar full of snacks and other offerings, it's easy to see how effective it is.
I'll go whenever I can to pray for the mall's sales to keep improving. Everyone goes.
This tiny shrine nestled right next to the mall is frequented by employees praying for booming business, making it a quirk of the neighborhood. Down a small alley over in Sanming district, there's another wealth god temple that's also a must-go spot among locals looking for a little pocketbook assistance. This temple houses the martial god of wealth, who can help with sales, as well as the civil god of wealth for regular income and financial wisdom. Since it's in the city center, many people working in sales-driven jobs come here to pay their respects.
We've gotten a very positive response online. A lot of young people come here to pray for wealth.
Although tucked away in an inconspicuous alley, locals will tell their neighbors to come pray for business prosperity and wealth, becoming a pre-work ritual for many local professionals. Golden drumsticks are lined up in neat rows, glittering in the light. But don't eat them. They're all made of real gold. The owner of a steel company in Kaohsiung bought 40 of these to give to his employees, leaving everyone else jealous.
很好啊，老板很好啊，哪家公司看还需不需要员工啊？
那你觉得鸡腿黄金怎么样？
还蛮有创意的。
The business owner said that one drumstick is about 3 grams, worth 16,000 NT. The store also offers chicken wings and entire roast chickens, all made of gold.
拿出金盘子，
You can arrange these chicken wings and drumsticks on a literal golden platter to make a delicious fried chicken combo. But beyond these chicken figurines, there's a whole world out there of eccentric collectibles.
There's also a cement mixer, fire truck, hamburger, and lighter, not to mention dogs, bears, and horses. The wheels and claws even move on the excavator and forklift.
你看起来它很大。
They may look large, but they only weigh about 7.5 to 11.25 grams, valued at 50,000 to 60,000 NT at most. Since they're light, the entry-level price remains accessible.
Inspired by his own interests, the jeweler sources all kinds of eccentric figures to sell at his store, even a fully functioning golden straw. Every piece looks exquisite.
蛮多客人都把它收起。
We have a lot of clients who like to collect them to display. It's safe to say that each younger customer of mine has 2 or 3 of these.
Traditionally, the gold market has been dominated by the sale of standard bullions, nuggets, or jewelry. But in the past few years, these intricate figures have been taking the market by storm. They not only retain their value, but also attract interest from a younger generation of buyers. This ordinary pencil case comes with an ordinary pen with an inspirational phrase. The early bird gets the... Wait a minute, it says, the early worm gets the bird. Is it a typo?
纳闷了一下，可是我会莞尔一笑，我会觉得说，这
这还蛮有梗的，脑筋急转弯都是用很有梗的方式，然后颠覆你的那个逻辑。
This is one of 100 pens given to graduates of Yilan's Yuanshan Junior High School as a gift this year. By subverting the classic proverb, "The early bird gets the worm," it's generated a lot of discussion and proven popular among students.
蛮颠覆传统的，
可能学校的用意就是想要让我们突破自己吧，就是换一个身份，然后去做这个身份可能没办法做到的事情。
But make no mistake, this isn't a cynical phrase meaning the worm will get eaten by the bird. The school clarified that 13 years ago, they asked the manufacturer to make pens in both Chinese and English. The English turned out right, but the Chinese swapped the words for bird and worm. A student noticed and reported it to the school. But since it was funny and inspirational in its own way, they decided to make it a tradition.
我们虽然是小校，那我们就是早起的虫儿，但是因为我们虽然小校，我们的学生也少，可是我们比较宏大的志愿跟目标，所以对于这句物质的中文，对我们来说也是可以当成我们强大的力量。
Yilan's Yuanshan Junior High only has 212 students across 10 classes, averaging out to fewer than 5 classes per grade. Although small like the worm in the phrase, they found the limelight with this creative gift.
A diner in Luodong Township, Yilan, thought he might have had too many drinks on Monday night when he stumbled upon a local man reeling in a fish from the sewers. Only it wasn't his imagination. The man did actually catch a fish. Let's hear more.
I find it really absurd that sewers can possibly be so clean. Usually there are only rats and cockroaches, but we're speaking of angling at those large sewers. That's nothing to write home about. I also fish myself. In the past, when it rains often, the water levels get quite high. Water from the upstream would flow down via the sports park, and the fish would make their way here from there.
The angler had set up on Fuxing Road in the township. All he needed to do was to remove the drainage grate, grab a stool, and wait for a fish on the hook. He looked like quite the expert of roadside angling. According to locals, the drains used to be part of the irrigation system, and the water passing through is still quite clean, so it's quite common for them to fish there.
从大学之后开始来台北，然后现在30岁。那住到我现在目前这个租屋处之前，我平均都是1年搬一次家。
From college to now, Omo has had nearly a decade of experience renting in Taipei. He's currently in a second-floor apartment near Wanhua Station with 3 bedrooms, a living room, and 1 bath for 25,000 NT a month. It's convenient living near 2 rail lines with a bus stop 30 seconds from his door.
租的这个地方
This place is a little bigger than where I lived before, and the transport is more convenient. So even though it's a little more expensive, I think it's worth it.
According to DGBAS statistics, rents have grown at an average annual rate of less than 2% over the past 5 months. In May, it reached a 4-year low of 1.76%. But to renters, it hasn't made much of a difference.
我没有感觉耶。
I haven't noticed. I have a fixed contract now. If I were to feel the effects of this trend, I'd have to sign a new contract. But there's no way I'd renegotiate now. If I approached my landlord and said I wanted to sign a new lease, I highly doubt the rent would drop. So unless I had to move to a new place, this market cool down doesn't really affect me. Rental increases have already plateaued. It's not like in the past 2 or 3 years, which was driven by inflation and rising real estate prices, which in turn led to relatively dramatic rent hikes.
As salaries fail to keep pace with housing prices, experts recommend easing the financial burden by applying for government rental subsidies. Although rental hikes are finally subsiding, most tenants are still waiting to see any real relief in their bank accounts.
Ahead of the upcoming Dragon Boat Festival holiday, President Lai Ching-te on Tuesday visited 2 troops in Greater Taipei, the Navy's Songshan Radar Station and the Army's Guandu Area Command, where he inspected drills and heard presentations. In remarks, the president pledged to make remedies on slashed items in the special defense budget. He insisted that the administration will deliver on the difference, either through proposing an additional regular budget, raising the annual regular budget, or by introducing additional packages.